I've actually invited a bit of a globetrotter into the studio today, Reuben Ennor. Reuben, welcome to the show today.
Hello, Neil.
Now, Reuben, you've been studying overseas at a college. What have you been studying and where have you been studying?
I've been studying at Avondale College. It's on the Central Coast.
In New South Wales?
Yeah, just by Newcastle. I've been studying a Bachelor of Business with a major in Marketing and a Bachelor of Arts with a major in Communications.
Oh, wow. So a double degree?
Yes, nearly done.
Nearly done. Oh, well, that's fantastic. But I understand from sources that you've actually, in the last little while, had a major whirlwind tour. In fact, you ended up in Africa, didn't you? Whereabouts did you go in Africa and what did you do?
Yeah, well, I had enough of study, so I decided to take a semester off. So I decided to go to Africa. I went there with an NGO called Transformation...
NGO, non-government organisation.
Yep. Called Transformational Development Agency. And I went over there because what they were doing appealed to me. We did kind of like it was called a photo voice workshop, where we worked with kids of the genocide, the '94 Rwandan genocide. Yeah. And we all got them cameras, and I taught them how to take photos, you know, and take photos of their life so that they could all be compiled into a book so they could show their story through their eyes with their photos.
Fantastic. So, now you were telling me before that you had quite an amazing experience there, and actually you got to make, what was it, a bike or something like that?
Yeah, I got some money donated from back home, and the person told me just do whatever you can, you know, help many people, just one person, do whatever you want with the money. Right. So we became friends with this one sex worker. She was really nice, and I don't know, she showed like she really wanted to try and change the situation. So we went and we got to know her and she got to know us, and then we found out she was starting to sell charcoal. They use charcoal to cook on, right? And there's no gas, so she lives in this little kind of like slum area, and yeah, she had started selling charcoal by herself with the little money she was making, but it wasn't enough to support her, so she was still working. And so we bought her this bike, and I made her this big trailer. I think there's a picture. There we go. Oh,
okay. So this is it right here. So this is the bike. You bought the bike.
Okay. We bought the bike and made a little panel on the inside. It says Amakura, which is Kenya Rwandan. Okay. For charcoal. And I made this little bike, this little trailer on the back, and she loads it up with charcoal, and tows it around and sells it. It's a delivery system.
So now that's helping her get her life back together again and get off the streets.
Yeah, it's great. She's expanded now, and she's now selling like fruit and veg out of it as well. So she's doing really well, and she doesn't have to work.
Fantastic! What a great story.
Yeah.
And so that's giving real hope in what was, you know, a pretty bad situation.
Yeah, she's got one little girl and lives in a room about 2 meters square.
So now, after you left Rwanda, you actually ended up in India.
Yeah, well,
so I have
a hobby of taking photos. I enjoy it a lot, and that wasn't my focus in Rwanda. Right. But I had some of my photos up, and a friend from Asian Aid, which is a Adventist NGO that is focused in India and Nepal. Right. And their main focus is sponsoring children, so they had a documentary crew going over to do some promotional work with them, and they asked me to go over there and to be their official photographer. So,
wow, what a privilege.
So I came back and I had a month travelling around India.
In fact, we're even seeing some of the photos that you've taken while you've been away.
Okay, so yep, this is, they have a blind school. Right. So this is a little blind boy. And we travelled around and saw different orphanages. And our main focus was the Sunrise Home, which is up now. They live in the middle of town in this little crammed up, I don't know what it is, building.
Yeah, apartment, whatever,
Yeah, as you can see, before there was some sleeping on the ground. They all kind of, there's not enough beds or whatever, so they're all kind of sleeping on the ground. So we went there and we documented them to try and help raise funds. And this is them in worship, all in one room.
Wow, so it looks like a large family group, really.
It was. Yeah. They're lovely kids.
And were they all smiling and happy?
Yeah, they were. It's amazing how happy they are, considering what circumstances they were in. And even if you look around India and you see the poverty and the rubbish and the smell and just the conditions.
So Asian Aid are bringing real hope to people in communities in India.
Most definitely. It was really great seeing what they're actually doing, because with sponsorship things, you never know, where's the money going and whatnot. But there you can actually see the direct effects that each sponsor has on each child. So it was really great.
And I guess one of the real things that really inspires the likes of Asian Aid and many other groups around the world is belief in Christ and the good news that he brought to our world.